So for this demonstration, we will be simulating two computers. One is the attacker and one is the victim. The attack will be performed on a virtual machine running Backtrack, which is a Linux distribution that is widely used by hackers. The target will be the OS X machine. This avoids jail time, which makes everyone happy.
So as our virtual machine is setting up, we can explain how SSLStrip works. It is a man-in-the-middle attack that intercepts web traffic and strips off any SSL from a web page. This can be used to intercept secure login information like usernames and passwords and displays it as a plain text file for the hacker to read. Obviously, this is highly detrimental to your privacy and information.
This attack happens behind the scenes and is transparent to the person being hacked. The only warning that a user might have of their session being hacked is the lack of the S attached to the URL seen in the address bar. So if you are sure that you're supposed to be using HTTPS and instead you see HTTP, then you must know that you're likely the victim of a man-in-the-middle attack and your information is not secure. Any typed input could be clearly visible to the attacker.
So the first step in this tutorial is to set up IP forwarding. There is a text file located at proc sys net IPv4 and then IP_forward. Right now it's currently set to 0. You have to change that to 1 by doing this command. And this essentially turns on IP forwarding. So now it is 1. Now we will begin to edit the Linux firewall. We will tell the kernel to forward every packet it receives except for any packets received on port 80. We will choose to forward that to another port of our choosing. In this example, we just chose 8080, but you could choose any packet you want. We will now begin to use our SSLStrip program. To execute it in Linux, you simply type python SSLStrip.py tac L for listen, and then the port we specified earlier, which is 8080 in this example. And now is executed. Now we will open up a new terminal and check our virtual machine's IP address. Typing ifconfig does not show any internet devices just yet, but running dhclient will bring up our interfaces. We'll check our interface E3's IP address by typing ifconfig E3. Our IP address is 192.168.13.131. Now we will check our host's computer or our potential victim's IP address in the system preferences of OS X, where you can find the IP address along with the router or the gateway. We will be using a program called ARPspoof to essentially man-in-the-middle this session between our Backtrack and OS X computer. We give it our interface, which is E3, then tag T for our target's IP address, or our OS X's target IP, or our OS X's IP address, which is 192.168.13.143. Then we give it its destination IP address, which is the router, which is 192.168.13.254. So now we are essentially acting as a router intercepting all traffic coming from the OS X machine. So using a program called Tail, Tail Tech F lets you see in real time the output of a log file, and SSLStrip outputs all of its usernames and passwords in an SSLStrip.log file. So here you see me trying to go to gmail.com. Notice it is HTTP. Here I am typing in my username along with my password. And here you can see in plain text my username and password.
This is a demonstration.
Here is my bank account. I'm just putting in fake credentials just to see that it can work, just to show you that it can work. Looking back at the log file, now that we have successfully retrieved my Gmail and bank accounts, usernames, and passwords, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and go ahead and reload those same websites and see if they are still using regular HTTP instead of SSL. Looks like it hasn't taken effect yet. Let's reload it one more time, and there you go. It is now using SSL. Let's try Gmail now. And it's back to SSL too. And this was all transparently done. Nothing was known to the user.